Okay, here comes the Harbinger of Doom, the fucking Stickman, the Crow. What do you call them? Scarecrows.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Lore of League of Legends.
I do like his newest cinematic though, like when they remade him. That is pretty creepy overall. No, obviously it's leaked, so it's not really scary, but like it is creepy, like the way he moves and shit. Yeah.
This episode is going to be the
if I watched it in VR, probably would jump.
First of two champions that feed on the terror of those around them. Without further ado, I present to you the lore of Fiddlesticks, the Harbinger of Doom. Enjoy.
He's really fucking strong right now too. It's crazy. Not against my Cassidon, but like, you know, in the jungle.
He was a powerful spellcaster of Zorn who had taken part in the Rune Wars and impressed friend and foe alike with the pure raw magic that he bound into submission.
Isn't this the summoner guy?
Cast spells that would consume the average mage, and he did not fear the corrupting power of magic. The battlefields were a perfect place for him to be. There he could unleash his full potential without the worry of causing himself any harm. At the end of the 5th Rune War, however, his fellow mages had decided that those conflicts had to be stopped in order to save the continent. Otherwise, it would have fallen apart, making it uninhabitable.
Okay.
Concerned with the future of themselves and their nations, they created an organization called the League of Legends and invited every powerful spellcaster into it to ensure that it would be able to supervise the use of magic.
Okay. That is the original. Isn't that like the... That's what the Institute of War is about, right? So, are we back to the Institute of War now? What the fuck's going on?
One of the first who was invited as a summoner into the League. He was seen as a great addition to the League's summoners, and many had recognized his power as the perfect way to solving any problems that the newborn League had. His power was indeed helpful, but the mage himself was still living in the past. He missed the thrill of battle and view of his enemy being scattered across the field due to the power he had unleashed upon them.
Oh, okay. I see what happened.
The code that the League had placed upon him was too strict. He couldn't utilize his full potential whilst being restricted by numerous rules. Other mages were fine with accepting those restrictions, but they had never even fathomed using the power that Istvan had known so well. His spells were often beyond the reach of other summoners, and time after time he'd violated the summoner's code in the aim of achieving more than anyone else.
Yeah.
One day, he finally took it upon himself to seal himself away in the easternmost summoning chamber and began an incantation, one that had been strictly forbidden by the rules. An extraplanar summoning. To this very day, it's unknown what exactly happened within the chamber, but nobody within the Institute of War had heard anything from Istvan for hours. The only response to the repeated knocks on the chamber door was the echo. It was almost as if nobody was even inside in the first place. But when a young apprentice tried to enter the room, he was instantly cut down by an unearthly scythe. Others had followed in to investigate, but were met with the same fate. Those who had survived had been driven mad with fear that turned into husks of men that could only speak about crows and death. Seemingly, the only thing left inside the chamber was a wooden scarecrow, but nobody in the Institute was foolish enough to ignore the threat, afraid of the evil that even Istvan couldn't control. The summoners gathered and sealed the chamber, preventing anything from leaving it. They hoped to contain what was within. For years the scarecrow stayed there, unmoving and stoic. But if someone were to enter his domain, he would rush forward and cut them down where they stood, like many before them.
Okay.
As the time passed, the summoners had come up with a way to make use of Fiddlesticks. He's become an executioner for the Institute, where the worst of criminals was sent as their punishment. Surprisingly, the summoners have also managed to convince Fiddlesticks to serve as a champion as well.
I thought we were past the Institute of War stuff. But now... Fiddlestick is in this one. So confused, man. I thought we were past this shit. Why are we going back to it, man? God damn.
He comes to life on the lanes of Summoner's Rift, seemingly following the rules of summoning. After the match, he returns to his secluded chamber, returning to his unmoving form. For nearly 20 years, the Scarecrow stood alone in the summoning chamber with his unearthly emerald eyes watching its entrance, where he serves as a warning of the dangers that summoning magic carries with it. The wooden figure and tale of Istvan, who summoned the monster to this world. But some say that the Zornite is still alive, as a part of Fiddlesticks himself.
Cool.
And that's all there is for you this.
Okay, well, I mean, what do you expect from a Scarecrow, really? Just like unknown origin, unknown anything, just that the most powerful summoner couldn't control him, and that's pretty much all there is to this guy, I guess. Alright, well, let's go. Maybe an interesting one, Nocturne. Let's go next.